All right, today we're gonna go over a video that I ran across on TikTok. It's about a girl that went to an interview and she really was upset about it. I kind of think that her caption is a bit exaggerated, but at the same time, I could kind of get where she coming from on the whole fact of not, feeling a little bit disrespected about the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I feel as though that she's exaggerating the caption and all of that a little bit too much. But I do get what she's trying to say. So we're gonna jump into the video. It's about I think her name's Natalia or something, and she's been getting a lot of backlash on this video that she posted on TikTok. And honestly, I don't think like all of the backlash was really necessary because she kind of had some points here and there. But we're just gonna jump into the video.
Like what I just experienced in this job interview, like what I just went through, there is not a clearer way to tell people that you are interviewing that we don't give a about our employees. We don't care about them. So I'm putting applications out all over Indeed. I get a response from one company, Brand IQ in Miami, Florida, and they're like, "Oh, we liked your application. We'd like to interview you. Can you come in for this interview?" I'm like, "Okay, that's a little inconvenient for a first interview. Maybe like a phone call, a Zoom call. You want me to drive 45 minutes all the way for a first interview?" But it's okay. I'm going to go. As I'm doing some more research, I'm starting to see some...
All right, let's stop. A lot of people in the comments. We're gonna go to the comments after this. A lot of people in the comments kind of was giving her a lot of backlash on her being upset about having to go to an in-person interview. Honestly, I mean, I don't really agree with her on that either, but at the same time, I get it. Nowadays, they do a lot of their interviews across the internet on Zoom and some other applications and things like that. They do that. So at the end of the day, for her, she's not used to this being a thing. Like, why do I have to come meet you in person on the first interview? Usually, y'all call, or usually y'all talk to me on the internet or something like that. And she's not wrong about that. They do that a lot more nowadays than what they used to do in the past.
First of all, not the type of company I thought they were. Second of all, their mission, vision, brand, voice, values, all of those, they're not there. And lastly, I see that the position is for marketing coordinator, which is not an entry-level position, okay? This is a position that requires experience. And they want to pay $36,000 to $38,000 in Miami, Florida.
What?
I'm like shocked at this, but I think like, okay, maybe something's wrong here. I'm just gonna go anyway and just find out what they're about. I walk up to their office, which isn't even an office. It's a little room with these two glass fish bowls, like side by side, okay? And there's like 10 people sitting in this first like little fish bowl. And I'm like walking in, "Hi, I'm Natalia, like I'm here for an interview." And this receptionist, she like stands up and she's like, "Oh, hey, I need you to fill this out." I'm like, "Fill what out? Like, you have my application, you have my resume. I even brought a resume with me. Literally a paper application, as if I were applying for like, I don't know, a summer job or something." At this point, I'm like, y'all, I have not slaved away in my professional career to be applying for a job like this. Like, what is going on? Then in the fishbowl right next to us, there's this man like interviewing these people right in front of us. I can hear everything they're saying. I suddenly know things about these people that I don't need to be knowing. After my interview time slot has gone and passed and I'm still sitting there, this guy comes in and he asks two other people to go with him. I'm still sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, so I asked the girl, like, what is this process? Like, what is going on here? He literally looks at me and goes, "This is an interview." I said, "Baby girl, I know it's an interview and I am not here for it." I literally said, "Thank you so much, but I'm actually good." And I got up and I walked out. Like, if you want to show people that you do not care about your employees, that they are dispensable to you, literally just have an interview process like that.
Somebody in the comments has said something to her and she responded to it. We'll go over that in a minute. But I mean, 30, I think she said 30 to 38 thousand or something like that. Bro, that is nothing. You can actually double that, and that still wouldn't be nothing in Miami, Florida. I don't know what position she's applying for, but apparently she's worked before and she's trying to get, I guess, a higher position or a better job in whatever field that she's in. So the crazy part is that they try to offer that much money. Now, granted, the way this interview sounds, it does sound like one of those summer job interviews. But even some of those ain't even that bad. I don't think I've ever been to an interview that sounded like what she experienced. To be real, man, I think the closest thing that I had to that was when I was at Amazon, and they would all have us come to a specific building, and I remember us watching the video together, but I don't ever remember our interviews being, that exposed to other people. I remember us going to a room and it was just a one-on-one thing. So this person name is Sandra. She says, "What people in their 30s and 40s have to do the exact same thing, and we didn't have Zoom calls. So stop complaining. It's ridiculous." So honestly, I don't really agree with Sandra on this one. I don't think that what the girl's saying is ridiculous at all. Like I said, they live in a different time now. Things are done through Zoom calls, interviews, all that stuff. Especially like most of them first interview, they do have to deal with these things now. So she didn't have to deal with what you or others that's been growing in like the 80s and whatever. She didn't have to do. She don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. Going in person to interviews may have been something she's never experienced before. I'm gonna just call her Betha. So she says, "Hold on. Since when is an in-person interview inconvenient?" Betha, I kind of gotta go with Betha on this one. I don't really think that an in-person interview is inconvenient. Like I said, I didn't really agree with the girl with Natalia on that one either. I didn't really agree with that one. Like, because they still do that nowadays. They do that quite often, actually, depending on what job you're trying to go for. So I'm gonna read like one or two more, and then we can go move on. Um, Jen, her name's Jen. She said, "Elder millennial here. This is major red flags. I've never experienced an interview process like this." Now, what Jen's saying. She's basically calling herself a millennial. She's saying what it is. Like a lot of them do not experience stuff like this. They just don't. A lot of the things that they experience are done online. Like it really is. Even job interviews and stuff. So and then especially since like the pandemic and things, a lot of interviews were done on the internet or through Zoom calls or whatever kind of app or whatever you use. I don't know. So the last person we're gonna go over is Jim. Jim says, "Oh no, you had to show up in person and write on paper. How dare they?" Now I get Jim's kind of making a joke out of this, but at the same time, there are very few places that have paper applications. And in the girl's defense, she already signed her application. She already had the resume. She even brought a resume on paper to give them. I too want to know why she had to sign an extra paper application. Y'all already have all her information. What is she signing another application for? It just doesn't make any sense. So she made another video. She was basically replying to Sandra up here, as you can see, and she was going on about like how people in their 30s and 40s, basically had to deal with this stuff, blah 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 blah. But let's just watch the video of her replying.
In 2022, all these Gen Z kids are coming with a different mentality. We will not be putting up with this mentality that we have to work our lives away just because somebody tells us to. We will not be coming with this mentality that we are so grateful to have a job that does nothing for us. I think millennials kind of set the pace with this, but Gen Z, they will have no more of it.
Man, I thought it was the same thing this whole
I don't
time.
care
Gen
what the
Z and
working world was
millennials. There's
like
a
20
difference.
years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Since the pandemic, everything has changed and it's changing for the better. So, am I going
I
to
don't know
walk
about
into a corporate
everything.
environment and demand that I be respected? Yeah, I am. Have I worked really hard to be able to demand that respect? Yeah, I have. But honestly, even if I had not worked that hard, even if I was just coming out of high school, trade school, or college, I would still be demanding that respect. You know why? Because I don't want to be treated like how all of you guys were treated for years and years and years in your career. I'm not desperate for a job. And you know what? If Gen Z has done anything, they have proven that you don't have to have a 9 to 5 to make money. It's giving, I am not here for it, and I am not sorry about it. It's giving acting your wage.
So there's the video. She kind of covered a few points there, man. Some of it I just can't really argue with. I really can't. And honestly, she's not wrong. You don't have to work a 9 to 5 anymore to really make money, like people used to have to do back in the day. You also don't have to put up with a lot of bull crap anymore, like people had to do back in the day. Is she being entitled? I don't think she should have to settle for a job that's not going to help her pay her bills or help her, do better for herself for her future. I don't think she should have to settle. I also don't think that she should have to deal with that little bit of money. Like I said, I think it was 30 to 38,000 or something like that. I don't think she should have to deal with that little bit of money in Miami, Florida, just to get by. Like that's just ridiculous right there. But like she said, the reality of it in this age and time, you really don't have to do that stuff anymore. So just let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Drop them comments up in there. I really want to hear what y'all got to say. I like to respond to a few of y'all. Just let me know how y'all think about this whole video. See y'all later.